This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather Ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diving. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe Birthday Boy. And the birthday boy for today, May the 26th, is a sports announcer. I know a lot of people are saying, wow, you've been doing a lot of sports announcers lately. Well, that's what happens. But this guy is 83 years old now. He's actually the lead broadcaster at Vegas Stats and Information at VSiN, and is actually the radio play-by-play voice for the Las Vegas Raiders. Can you believe it? But this guy is a legend. In a CBS tenure from 1973 to 1990, he was one of the original members of the NFL Today, when the pregame show for CBS. And coined the phrase March Madness to describe the NCAA men's basketball tournament while covering the Final Four. He also covered the Super Bowl, NBA Finals, World Series, U.S. Open, tennis, and Masters. He would then, after CBS got rid of him on April Fool's Day 1990, go to ABC/ESPN. Musburger would still do the NBA Finals, would host Monday Night Football, provide play-by-play for Saturday Night Football and the SEC Network. He would cover the Indy 500, U.S. Open, British Open, the World Cup, the Belmont Stakes, College Football National Championship, among others. And then he left ABC ESPN in 2017 after 27 years, retiring from play-by-play of live sports. He is Brent Musburger. Brent Musburger is big in other media, like on TV and all that. I wonder if they did all that. Yeah, he was in some stuff. So anyway, Brent Musburger was born in Portland and raised in Montana. He actually was a sports writer for the now defunct Chicago American newspaper. However, Musburger would get in trouble in 1968 for penning a column regarding Tommy Smith and John Carlos's protest of racial injustice in the United States with a Black Power salute. He called Smith and Carlos look like a couple of black-skinned stormtroopers who were ignorable, juvenile, and unimaginative. Well, Musburger said he objected to using the Olympic award stand to make a political statement, and I don't blame him for that. Musburger would never apologize. Musburger called them Nazis and all that. Anyway, John Carlos was upset over Musburger's stuff on him. Makes sense? So Musburger would begin an association with CBS as a sports anchor for WBBM TV. He would go to Los Angeles to anchor sports and news for KNXT. Worked alongside Connie Chung as a co-anchor on evening newscasts for 3 years and joined CBS Sports full-time. So anyway, he would start doing play-by-play for CBS Sports in 1973. He would be doing NFL games and then would go to the studio to be part of the NFL Today. So Musburger would rise to prominence being the studio show host on NFL Today. He would cover many CBS announcements. He would cover college football and basketball for CBS, the NBA, horse racing, U.S. Open tennis, and Masters golf tournament. He would also be part of the World's Strongest Men, like doing the stuff when the World's Strongest Man competitions were basically just in Hollywood. But it's Musburger's associated with the NFL Today that's made him famous. CBS knew that they had the #1 rated pregame show because of Musburger stuff. His show opening teases would be huge. Musburger's accompanying intro to each visual is, "You are looking live at Michigan Stadium. You are looking live at the Rose Bowl. You are looking live at Veterans Stadium." You know that much. When he promoted the network, his voice often tailed off in the last letter of CBS, CB's, catching another catchphrase. But anyway, Musburger was huge. He was the main sportscaster. He would do the NBA Finals on basketball, college basketball, you know. After Gary Bender left in 82, Musburger, 83, sorry, Musburger started calling the NCAA tournament Final Four in 1984. Doing college football, the Boston College Miami game. Too bad they don't have like his famous calls and all that. Remember basketball. Smart takes a shot, and the Hoosiers have the lead. For 1987, keep Smart. In 1984, Flutie's game. Flutie flush, throws it down, caught by Boston College. I don't believe it. It's a touchdown. The Eagles have won it. So anyway, Musburger made March Madness apply to the basketball tournament. But in 1990, CBS went through a management change. During the early morning hours of April Fool's Day 1990, Musburger was fired. His final assignment came for the 1990 NCAA basketball tournament final, which UNLV crushed Duke in Divine Powder. Musburger did thank the audience in CBS Sports for all their efforts, which he didn't take it that harshly. At the time of his firing, Musburger was going to be the MLB on CBS's main play-by-play guy, because CBS got the rights to MLB games in America over NBC. Unfortunately, you guys canned, and Jack Buck became it. Jack Buck was a good guy for a couple years, but then he got in trouble for comments in Pittsburgh in the LCS in 1991, and Sean McDonough, who I covered earlier this year, came in. Greg Gumbel would become the main NFL Today guy instead of Musburger, and CBS went downhill a little bit. Jim Nance would soon become the main play-by-play announcer for college basketball, and it worked out in the end. Musburger almost went to WGN, but he settled at ABC. With Al Michaels being ABC's top broadcaster, Musburger decided to just focus on college sports, and he was pretty good in all of that. After his hiring, ABC's merger with ESPN allowed him to work on ESPN stuff as well, including baseball, basketball, golf, horse racing, the Indy 500, Little League World Series, soccer, college football, and NFL games even. Musburger was a studio host for many ABC/ESPN stuff. Musburger would be known in 1995 for calling the famous Game 5 of the Mariners-Yankees ALDS. All that. This is his call of the Edgar Martinez double that sent Seattle to the ALCS. No balls in a strike to Martin. Line drive. We are tied. Griffey is coming around. In the corner is Birdie. He's going to try to score. Here's the division championship. Mariners win it. Mariners win it. Unfortunately, Musburger made a mistake because Bernie Williams was not the guy in left field. It was Gerald Williams. But anyway, yeah, Musburger would call games for NBC. Musburger would be a key guy for NBC when calling games, alongside Bob Costas for NBC when they had baseball coverage in the 90s. Anyway, Musburger's college football duties got him to call 7 BCS national championship games: 2000, 2004, 2010, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Musburger would call the Rose Bowl in 2007, replacing the retired Keith Jackson. He was still known for "You Are Looking Live" and all that. He was still the voice of ABC Sports college football. Unfortunately, during the 2013 national championship game between Bama and Notre Dame, a camera turned to Catherine Webb, who was cheering for A.J. McCarron. Musburger remarked, "I'm telling you, you quarterbacks get all the good-looking women. What a beautiful woman." ESPN said that, the comments went too far. And the controversy actually did die down quickly because Catherine Webb did not get bothered by those comments. So Musburger would move on to the SEC network to do some games and all that. In 2017, he decided to retire from play-by-play stuff. He actually started the Vegas Stats and Information Network, the first multi-channel network dedicated to sports gambling information. Musburger and his son sold VSiN to DraftKings. All that. Musburger would become the new radio voice for the Oakland Raiders under a 3-year contract, succeeding Greg Papa. So yeah, he was doing Raiders games and all that. His style was huge. He has a down-to-earth manner of speaking, often addressing a sphere of folks. So yeah, lots of people said that his voice will always be associated with some of the sport's most memorable modern moments. And Musburger did have a reputation for pointing out attractive women in the crowds of the games he calls. It's funny. Brad Musburger was in Rocky 2. He was actually in an episode of South Park when they have flashbacks to stuff from season 1, and he's the right leg of Scuzzlebutt. He was also in the main event, The Water Boy, when he was the play-by-play guy for the Cajun Bowl, or whatever they call it. He was in Cars 2 playing Brett Mustang Burger. He was on the ABC sitcom Happy Endings. He was in a few other things. He also was memorably in a Drew Carey episode when Oswald, Drew, and Lewis all lusted to the same woman, Tracy. They do the Tracy Bowl, and Musburger alongside Lynn Swan and Frank Everett, I don't remember who the third guy was, did the Drew Carey show stuff, all that. But man, his career timeline, his resume is huge. NFL on CBS, play-by-play, NBA on CBS, play-by-play, NFL Today studio host. He would be the main guy for U.S. Open tennis. That's shocking. College basketball on CBS with the Final Four and all that. NCAA football on CBS. And then going to ABC, becoming college basketball, college football star. Little League World Series play-by-play. There's something about that. Because guess what? Brent Musburger, there's a connection because Brent Musburger was actually one of the 2 announcers in the PS3 game Little League World Series alongside the great Gary Bourne. Musburger lent his voice, and it was like, that's amazing. All that. So that was huge and all that. So yeah, it was fun. And Brent Musburger, it has a lot of good soundtracks for the fans of the 80s and 90s and 2000s. I won't miss him when he's gone, but man, this guy's in his 80s and he's still doing play-by-play. I salute him, I really do. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond, I do.